Charleston, South Carolina is a unique architectural gem here in the United States, combining the styles of colonial British, traditional Afro-Caribbean, French, Spanish, and of course, your functional coastal living. But we can't talk about Charleston's unique architecture without starting with Charleston's most storied, recognizable architectural namesake, the Charleston Single House. Built on the characteristic, narrow city lots of the Holy City, the Charleston Single House is always built deeper than it is wide, at least from a street view perspective. An often heard Charleston myth proclaims homes were built this way as a loophole for property tax prices that were based on rooms visible from the street, but that's not exactly true. When South Carolina was still a British colony, strict urban planning rules were established by Parliament back in London for all land development in the emerging cities of British North America. Many of the homes built in Charleston from the early 1700s up to the 1890s would have, at least at the time, been a Charleston single house. It's a pretty wide architectural epoch. While there isn't an exact historical date, builders or architects credited to the invention of the Charleston single house style, when you see one, you'll know it. And one major clue to the design origins can be found in the Caribbean island of Barbados. Back in the 1700s, Charleston represented the southernmost border of the British colonies in North America. Many of Charleston's first inhabitants were actually immigrants twice over, leaving Barbados, then also under British rule, and once again resettling in the new promised lands of soon-to-be South Carolina. They brought over tried and true residential house styles from the coastal settlements of Barbados that was based more around building function as opposed to style, and the pounding heat and storm-susceptible climate of the tropics. Back then, the home was not just a place to lay your head, but also a place to sell your goods and services, often while playing host to lavish parties filled with men in wigs and women in dresses so big they could be used as drapes in those large great rooms. You may notice that most Charleston single houses are directly adjacent to each other, or feature a brick or stone wall right on or flush to an obvious property line. This is not just a way to keep nosy neighbors out, but in fact, it's a leftover of one of America's first official fire prevention building codes. Early on, Charleston was devastated by a number of fires, and these back walls were established to act as a fire break from one property to the other. These days, when it comes to form and style, the Charleston single house can be quite ambiguous in its aesthetic design. Today, you'll often see Charleston single-family homes styled in Neo-Gothic, Greek Revival, Italianate, Victorian, Federal, and even more modern flavors. But while loose with design or architectural form in modern times, when it comes to being a true Charleston single house, there are some pretty strict rules when it comes to function, both in regards to exterior and interior layout. In classic form, it is one room wide with 2 rooms to each floor and a centrally located staircase with floors layered the exact same way. All feature a column piazza or front porch on the south or west side of the house. This layout allows the home to take advantage of the prevailing winds and maximize sun exposure in relation to Charleston's geographical location. And that was a lot more important before the invention of electricity and central air conditioning, but definitely still has its benefits today. In modern Charleston, one and multifamily dwellings or even storefronts have kept the Charleston single house style going strong, and its seamless outdoor-indoor living architectural concept has been lauded and used as a design feature all over the world. Charleston is such a unique and storied city with the visual style not really seen anywhere quite like it. A city with both historical and modern architectural wonders. And there is no doubt the Charleston Single House was the start of Charleston finding its one-of-a-kind architectural stride. And if you're looking for a Charleston Single House of your very own, make sure to reach out. The Lively Charleston team would love to help. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see continued content like this. See you next time.